Hey everybody, it's April 8th, 2022. This is Lance. We're going to do something a little different today. What you're going to be seeing is someone that I've been friends with for many years, since high school. And they're doing a little bit of trading on a sim account, just doing a micro one contract. I believe there's no point in doing, a full account, a big size on sim when you're going to be starting out live on a micro account, which is what he's going to do. And as I'm explaining some of this, I'm just going to start right here as we get into some of these trades. Here's the first trade of today. And again, this is a micro account. It's on sim. And each tick is worth about, I think, 50 cents. So what we're doing here is we're using something called a 40 tick stop loss, 120 tick target. So it's a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. And I think it's very powerful, maybe even better than my 50 tick stop loss, 100 tick system. Anyhow, I wanted to get them started the right way instead of like most people, like I did, that when I was, just scalping. And I believe that that's no longer really the issue. I think you should enter like a scalper, very precise entries, but at the same time have a good risk reward ratio where you don't need a really high win rate. Because after 10 years or more in this game, I can tell you it's not always easy to consistently have that high win rate. So with this system, 35% or so, you're doing really well. 35% win rate makes money on this system. Okay, so here's the first entry. Now, if you've been watching this trade, this is something that's almost hitting the stop loss several times. Now, what would most people do at this point? Watch this. They'd say, you know what? I'm out of this trade. And then a lot of times, guess what? The trade works out. So what the lesson was today for my friend is dealing with discomfort, dealing with uncertainty. And here again, you saw we almost hit my stop loss, or his stop loss, 3 or 4 times. So, and now it's starting to take off. And a little better now. Yeah. I'm not going to show all these trades today in real time because some of them took quite a while to hit the target. And the best thing to do when you're monitoring your trade is not watch it too closely on this. There you can see that's a 100 tick break even. It automatically breaks even at 100 ticks. Sometimes, okay, we closed that out before it hit the full target, but it's still almost 100 ticks, which is, a very good trade. Okay, out of nowhere, there was this little long surge here. And I don't trust a lot of these when we're in a downturn and you suddenly... he went in on a little V shape here, but I wasn't convinced on this trade. I probably wouldn't have taken it. What happens often is you get this failed second wave, and now you're setting up for what's a good setup, which is a short trade off the fail of this second wave move. I call it a failed second wave swing break, and it's works a lot of times. So now we're going short. This one's moving pretty good, but again, it takes a while. So I am going to scroll through this. You can see again, it's not taking off right away. Lots of uncertainty again. Look at that. we came within 3 ticks of hitting the stop loss. So he's like, can I get out? Can I get out of this? You know, I said, no. Right now, this is sim. I'm training you to stay in a trade until you come pretty darn close to the target or your stop is hit. At this point, we have no way of knowing if it's going to win or lose. It doesn't look good, I'll admit, especially if you're viewing it on this chart instead of on one of these charts. Look at that. What is that, 2 ticks from hitting the stop? Again, with the 50 tick stop loss, you get a little more room. This is a 40 tick stop loss, a little bit tighter than what I've been using lately. But this is kind of he's kind of my guinea pig for my, what I believe to be my most powerful strategy yet, the 40 tick stop, 120 tick, 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. Okay, let's forward through here a little. All right, so 3 almost stops. I can guarantee you almost anybody else, unless, I don't know, would have gotten the heck out of that trade. I don't even know if I could stay in it. You know, it takes a lot. But again, this is sim. It's a little easier. Live, you know, most people would probably have exited that trade. But there is a reward for having that ability to withstand discomfort. And there's the 100 tick break even. Boom. All right. So that one was pretty much a full 120 tick winner. Okay. So by now we've hit this little area of support. And
order fell.
Not sure why you went in this trade. I think it was like a W double bottom, and I like to not assume something's necessarily going to just reverse because it hits support. Yes, it does often. I like it to give me a little more evidence that it's going to be changing directions, and I need to see a series of higher highs and higher lows. I don't feel like we really had gotten that yet by the time of this entry. And that's a loser. All right, a little later in the session, we started showing some signs of some buying from that support level. We pulled back to this area that's mapped out.
Order fell.
We get a little bit of a V-shape entry, and he enters. And you can see that one's starting to accelerate a bit, but we do have to go through a little bit of an area. There's the 100 tick break even. All right, so kind of he got out before the full target was hit, but again, when you're getting this hesitation here, sometimes it makes sense. It was almost, you know, wasn't quite probably even 100 ticks, but when you see that break even, auto break even, that means it's gotten to 100 ticks. And the full target probably would have been hit, but again, sometimes, as you'll see, you can be a couple of ticks within your target and it'll race all the way back down. So sometimes you have to make a decision to exit that trade before the full target is hit, but at least we're usually getting 90, 100 ticks at the very least.
Order fell.
Okay, here was one where we started making a reversal, and you're in certain charts on the 2-minute, the 5-minute, some of them are on another screen. We were still in the definite downtrend according to the EMAs and other indicators, but this was a little entry here on a slight pullback, a little what I call an A-shaped second wave, and we have the 120 tick target. And Just let that run along a little here. So the idea is for him is to do a couple of more months of sim using, you know, this 40-120 system at the absolute. If that's not really effective, maybe the 50-100 system, but definitely starting off with this 1-to-2 and 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. And the idea is to prove it on sim for a couple of months, then open a micro account with like $500, double that, maybe get it up to $1,500, go to 2 micro contracts, build up a little more, and after a while, you know, open up a full-size account and have it going. But before he does a full-size account, we'll definitely prove it for a considerable amount of time on a micro account, which is, I think, is a good way to start. And look at this one. Look at this. It came within 1 tick of hitting the target, and this is what makes this a little bit tough sometimes. We've got the 100 tick break even.
Stop film.
Jesus.
Yeah. And it gets stopped out at break even. Now that's a little frustrating. That doesn't happen all the time. And this one didn't really give you a lot of time to think, should I close this out? You know, how much do I let this retrace? But so that's a little bit, that comes with experience, knowing when to squeeze that trigger and pull the plug on that. So there you go. I'm not currently mentoring people or anything, in case somebody starts asking me that. This is just something I'm doing for a friend, but I don't know, in the future I'm considering maybe doing again the live casts of my trading sessions and some sort of thing like that. All right, that's it, guys.